Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, here with my co-explorer, as always, Amy Long.
Hi.
We have a really fun show for you. We're going to chat with you guys about our recent trip to LA. And you know what? We put it on ourselves to say, you know what? We've lived in Vegas for over 10 years now, and we've been to LA numerous times, but we've never done LA like a tourist.
Right.
And so, you know what? We set out with a specific mission in mind. We were going to hit the hot spots, the touristy areas, and really just have fun. And that's what we did. So, you know, we're going to share with you guys what we did, the landmarks and fun places we went and visited, and some of the great food that we really had. And it was so good. But mostly just have a conversation about our fun time. And, you know, hopefully by the end of it, you're jealous. That's what I'm going for today. Where did this idea come from? First, I think we were lounging around one day and you were like, you know what? You know what we've never done?
Right.
Is LA.
Well, because we've been, like you said, we've been to LA several times. We always go for a specific reason. We're going to see a baseball game, or we're going to an amusement park, or we were going to go to Long Beach to get on a cruise. We were never just like hung out in LA. And so I thought, let's go be touristy. Let's go see Hollywood, you know?
See if we can see some stars. And you're right. I mean, and I think it's a shame to live this close to LA. And although we've been, you mentioned the trip, we went to a cruise. So we went to Long Beach. We also went back there. And if you guys, listeners, longtime listeners will remember, we explored the Queen Mary ship.
The haunted ship.
Haunted. And it's really just a fun ship to go explore anyway. It's like a little mini Titanic or something, except this one didn't sink, right? So in LA is one of those places, you know, we've had past episodes where we've talked about New York, you know, and specifically like Manhattan and those kind of places that are there's too much to put in one episode.
Right. Yeah. LA fits that category too.
Yeah.
So we decided we were going to try to stay central to Hollywood, Beverly Hills, kind of that cinematic area that you think of when you think of LA. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to go Hollywood. So that was our goal. We were going to go take a tour of a studio. We were going to go see the Hollywood sign. We were going to go walk down the Hollywood Boulevard and see the stars. And we did it all. And it was so much fun. Yeah.
You know, it's about a 4-hour drive from Vegas. So on the way there, we were kind of prepping. I mean, we had a good idea. We wanted to stay within LA as much as possible. I mean, LA is one of those big, vast cities, right? That encompasses a lot of other cities around it. So you just call everything LA, but then you have areas like Long Beach, Inglewood, Malibu, I think.
Malibu's a little more north.
Malibu's north, but all those little areas right there. Let's see, I don't
Pasadena.
even know. There you go. All these little areas right there. And so most people who live outside of LA, everything is LA in that area. So we had some ideas of what we specifically want to do, but just looking at it, what was we kind of chatted about this, but what was like your number one thing that you wanted us to do while we went there?
I wanted to do a studio tour. Which we did, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that was like, you know, that thing that we've talked about doing before and we've never done. But I'm like, let's go see where they make these movies and TV shows. Because you can go see the stars on the sidewalk and you can go take a picture of the sign. But like, let's go stand in the studio. And we did, and it was better than I expected it to be.
Stand in the air of greatness. So we did. We took a Warner Brothers studio tour, which was a lot of fun. We will talk about that. You mentioned it now a couple of times, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. One of the first places you go down to, we stayed in downtown LA, actually right across the street from what used to be the Staples Center where the Lakers play, but now it's the Crypto Arena. So we stayed down there, and it's, number one, it's very surprising. LA is kind of notorious for the traffic, but it was really kind of surprising how easy it was to get around most places.
Right. I think it was harder getting in and out of LA when we were coming from like outside of the area than just navigating around the downtown and up to where the studio was in Hollywood Boulevard. That really didn't take us that long. I mean, 10, 15 minutes. So pretty easy to get around once you're in downtown LA.
Now, we did bring our car. We brought our own vehicle because we wanted to be able to move around at will. But Uber was super easy to, we did it a couple of times on some locations. Really easy to kind of navigate, and the prices weren't all that crazy that much.
Yeah, because you have to think about parking in a downtown area. Yeah. A, there's not a lot of parking in some places. And B, they charge you just as much to park as it would cost to Uber. So we just Ubered.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the first places, of course, was Hollywood. We wanted to go to the Walk of Fame. We wanted to see the Chinese theater and all of those famous things were the iconic Hollywood things. When you're walking down there, you start seeing the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
I had zero expectations. I've only ever seen it in pictures and video, but like
right.
A lot of the stars, you're like, okay, yeah, Hollywood stars. I mean, they have all the big ones down there, a lot of stars going back to the 20s, the golden era of Hollywood. There's also ones like Mickey Mouse.
Right.
like, different like fictional characters as well have Hollywood stars, which is, have you ever watched one of those ceremonies when they when they get their star like on the Walk of Fame?
A long time ago. I was surprised by how many stars. Like, I guess in my mind I thought it was a much shorter section, but it covers several blocks. And it's not just Hollywood Boulevard, it's some of the streets that intersect it too. They'll go down the sidewalks on both sides. So there were a lot. And it's not just movies. There's musical artists, and there's even, I think, directors and other people. So it's not just actors, but a ton, to the point where there's like, it's almost every step you take, you're stepping on a star, which surprised me because I really didn't think there were that many. Well,
it all kind of centers around the I think it's Grauman Chinese Theater.
Yeah.
The Chinese theater was built in the 20s by a guy named Sid, and you'll see, because if you go in the forecourt of the Chinese theater is where they put their hands and their foots. Sorry, I'm excited. The hands and their footies in the cement, and then they write a little message, and everyone signs it. Thanks a lot, Sid, or whatever. And so you could hear people audibly asking, like, "Who's Sid?" Like,
right.
And he was a guy from back in the 20s, 30s, that era and everything. He was a theater mogul. So that's where the name came from. And for a long time, they called it Mann's Chinese Theater. And it kind of fluctuated during that time period and everything. So everything kind of begins right there in Hollywood. If Hollywood has a center,
it's
that's
right
probably
there.
it.
Yeah, which you can take tours of the Chinese theater. We did not. They were announcing a tour about to start when we were standing out there, but we were having just as much fun walking around, finding the handprints and footprints of people we recognized.
The foots.
Yeah. No, it was fun because you walk around and there's people from, more current films all the way back to, like you said, the 20s and 30s. So, a lot of names I recognized, some I didn't, but it was really neat because you could also see where they like took a stick and wrote their signature in the in the cement too. It was just a really neat thing, and lots of footage on my phone that I'm probably never going to do anything with, but hey, I have it. So
that's awesome. This is also going to be where if you do one of the big bus, like hop on, hop off tours, and we did it. Yeah, we decided, we pushed all in. We were like, okay, we're going to do this. This is where you're going to begin to. I think technically it's stop number 2, but you can see crowds of people and the buses are filling up and starting to take you around to these different sightseeing locations. What do you think of the big bus? I had zero expectations of that.
Right, because it's something we've talked about doing a lot before in the past and we've never done. We're like, no, we're doing it. I think it was fun. It was super hot and we were in the top, no shade. But also, it can be very crowded. And I think we'll talk more about that when we come back.
It does bring about a few issues if you're going on a very busy weekend or things like that. So stick with this. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We're talking LA like a tourist because we did it, yo. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with Spicy Amy Long.
Hi.
Talking about our recent trip to LA and how much fun it is to really just go and be a tourist. We are coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. So we mentioned...
What's up with your voice?
I don't know. I have inflections on the wrong syllables right now. We were just talking about the hop on, hop off big bus tours that you can do that are available in multiple cities.
Yeah.
In a lot of places. But we want to preface this with, we actually did what we always tell you guys to do, which is we checked and we bought the Go City Pass.
Right. So there's a few different options. You can get kind of an unlimited pass that you can use within a certain amount of days, or you can buy a pass for, I want to see this many attractions. And there's a little bit of restrictions with that one, but for us, we knew that would work better because we wanted to do kind of a few big things. So we ended up getting the Go City Pass to do 3 attractions in, I think you have a 30 or 60 day time period to do it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good frame.
Yeah. So, and one of the things we decided to do with it was the hop on, hop off bus tour. So it really paid for itself with that and the studio tour we went on. And then we had an additional place that we could go tour with our pass. So getting on the bus was interesting, as you said.
Yeah.
We were in front of the Chinese theater trying to get on the bus, but everyone that pulled up was crowded. There wasn't enough room. So I would say that is something to keep in mind, that just because you have a pass, there may not be any available seats and you have to wait for the next one.
Yeah. And it was a beautiful, it was a beautiful Saturday. So usually beautiful Saturdays, not only are you going to find more tourists, but also people in LA are out seeing their own city. So you're just going to have this influx of people, much less like holiday weekends and things of that nature. But, once we found a seat on a bus, it'll take you around to different areas. It'll take you by different landmarks, and you can look at all of that up. But one of the places, our first stops was Beverly Hills.
Right.
We wanted to go see the hills, man, swimming pools and movie stars, like the Beverly Hillbillies say. That's what we wanted to see, and see some of the houses, and more importantly, go down Rodeo Drive.
Right. I've you hear about it, you see it in movies. I wanted to go down there. Actually, I'd heard from several other people who have been to LA, been to Rodeo Drive. The street's much shorter than you think. So I had this very specific expectation that it was only going to be 1 or 2 blocks, but it was actually longer than that. It was probably 5 or 6 blocks long, and it is all high-end luxury stores. Yeah. So
Louis Vuitton, Cartier,
Chanel, Ferragamo. And a lot of these stores you can just walk into, but probably half you either had to have an appointment to get in, or they had a doorman and you had to wait in line until they chose to let you in. So we did not go in any of the stores, but we took a lot of pictures in front of them.
I think the window shopping was intimidating.
It was fun to window shop.
Yeah. Lots of, you have some kind of expectations because you are in Beverly Hills. So lots of high-end vehicles as well driving the streets.
Right.
It's like night and day in some areas of LA, and then you hit Beverly Hills and you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. But sports cars, guys driving up and down the Rodeo Drive, revving their engines and everything. Hey, it's a place to see and be seen, right?
Exactly.
So it was fun. We walked around the neighborhoods. We saw some things.
What was that house you took me to?
It's playfully called the Witch House. And I know it has an actual name. It starts with an S. I probably wrote it down somewhere. It's like...
You did. It is the
Spindora? Spadina house. So basically this house is, whoever owns this house, I have no idea who owns this house. It's not me. So it's done up like an old witch cottage. And they've put a witch in the tree, and they got all the, they got like a moat in their front yard. So I'm sure it's very popular around Halloween and those kind of times. But it's fun to just kind of walk out.
And when we say it looks like a witch house, it looks like a set from a movie for a witch. Everything from even the gate leading from the street to the yard to the garage. It truly looks like you're on the set of a witch movie.
Yeah, tons of fun. And this is where we actually encountered one of our first problems with the hop on, hop off bus.
Right.
We noted how busy they get, but also they are on a time frame too. So like if you miss one, it's not guaranteed like the next bus is going to be there in 10 minutes. They do try to do their best, but I mean, it is LA. There is traffic. There are holdups and things that are out of people's control. But for a little bit, we were just sitting out like in the shade under a tree because we couldn't get a bus.
Right.
We couldn't catch a bus, which if you're a stickler about time, or if you're on a very short time, schedule or whatever, very tight time schedule, it's really going to mess up your plans.
Exactly. And that particular spot, so the buses have multiple routes. We were trying to just do the primary route, but that particular spot, you could also get on a different bus and go to do what they called the beach route.
Yep.
Both buses were full twice when they came around. So we ended up sitting out there, I think an hour and a half, waiting for a bus that was available for us. And by that time, we didn't care what bus we got on.
Yeah, we were
get
just
us
like,
on a bus. We're done with Beverly Hills.
But it allowed us to kind of adjust our plans. And this is where we went to the famous original Pink's hot dog stand.
Right.
Pink's, if you don't know, if you're from out of the country, Pink's is a very famous, it's an iconic hot dog food stand that the stars go to. And they've been doing it since, I think, the 40s and 50s, maybe even longer than that. But if you go in, it's a very small shop. When you go in, on the wall, tons of pictures of celebrities all signing it. Thank you so much, blah, 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 all holding hot dogs.
Right.
Some stars have their very own signature hot dog. There's a Betty White hot dog. There's an Emerald Lagasse hot dog. There's a few more.
There were a lot. I mean, the
Drew
walls were
Barrymore.
covered.
Drew
Yeah.
Barrymore had her own hot dog, and they're all different kinds.
So from what we understand, there's multiple Pink's hot dog locations, but we went to the original. And this is where, during the Great Depression, Mr. Pink, whatever his name is.
Mr. Pink, is that it?
I don't know.
Mr.
Whatever
Pink.
his name is. He opened an actual hot dog cart, and this was the corner that he put it on. And at the time, they said this was like out in the woods. Like the city had not grown out this far. And it was so popular that he ended up building a hot dog restaurant on this corner. So it is the original. There's like a plaque in the wall that says it's the original, but it's been there since the Great Depression.
I'm sorry, Mr. Pink. I don't know. It's so funny.
I thought
to
you
me.
were getting his name. I didn't get his name.
No, I didn't get his name, man. I was eating a hot dog at the time. So, yeah.
We did stand in line for a long time for those hot dogs.
They're worth it. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mr. Pink. This is the Unscaled Travel Show. Here is my co-host, Mrs. Pink.
His name really was Mr. Pink.
Is that his name? Really?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. I thought you were just making it up. You were making it up. I think you just took an educated guess.
I'm
Why not?
looking right now. Paul Pink. That was his name.
Oh, Pink. All right. That's completely made up. We are coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. We are chatting about all things LA. We did LA like tourists, had a good time talking about our stop there at the iconic Pink's hot dog stand, the original. Got to go to the original. If you're going to do it, you might as well go to the original, right? See what all the fuss is about. Pretty good hot dog. What'd you think?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the LA street dog.
Yeah, LA street dog.
It was good. I liked it.
It had like bacon and
It had bacon and peppers and
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
man.
it was really
delicious. Yeah. So the next day, we took our time and went. We had breakfast at a really nice spot downtown LA. It has lots of great reviews.
Poppy and Rose. It's
Poppy
a
and
farm to
Rose.
table dining. It's right in the flower district. So we're sitting in the window eating our breakfast. You had red velvet pancakes.
Oh, they were so good.
And I had the biggest French toast I've ever seen. It was giant. I ate 1/4 of one. It was so much food. But
Poppy and Rose. Yeah, I mean, farm to table, plate to face. That's how fresh it was. And it's a really nice spot too. Like you don't have any expectations going out to the flower and like garment districts, fashion. I always call it something that it's not. It's fashion district and the flower districts, which butt up next to each other. They run right into each other. So you go down there and you see all these wonderful fabric stores, and they bring all of their stuff out into like the sidewalks.
yeah, the sidewalks are lined with
Just
balsa fabric.
lined with yards and yards and yards of fabric, or however they hang it. I don't know.
And then you get to the flower district, which everybody's walking around carrying bundles of flowers or pulling wagons of flowers. And it was like just something we don't see around here. We don't have that in Vegas.
Yeah, we should.
We should totally.
We should totally hit up the city. We should have a flower district or something. But this is the place where like businesses, hotels, and things that operate in fresh flowers, you know, they have the big bouquets and stuff like that, and maybe in their
Lobbies.
the lobby areas. This is where they come and get them. So you see a lot of people pulling vast amounts of flowers early in the morning,
Right.
Because they're getting set for the day, or if they get a big wedding or whatever.
Yeah,
this is the spot you're hitting.
There were a few different, I mean, they're wholesalers, so it's big quantities of flowers and even vases and arrangements. Most of them did have a sign saying that you had to be part of like a flower association, something like that. But you could go in and tour it, and it was just a small fee, like $2, which we were going to go tour the original flower market right across from Poppy and Rose. But we didn't have any cash on us because we did not prepare for this trip very well.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Pink. Took all my cash. It was, you know, you might typically say like fashion and flowers aren't my everyday thing that I think about, but going down there, it was really amazing how beautiful these fabrics, and walking over and seeing all these flower decorations and it's not just those things. They also have like full blown event stuff where they cater to event companies and things like that. But beautiful, and it smelled great.
It did.
It really
It just, I mean, flowers in the air, and we're sitting there eating breakfast, and everybody's walking by with bundles of flowers. I felt kind of like I was in another country. Like it didn't feel like I was in downtown LA.
Yeah, tons of fun.
Well, and while we're talking about food, we also had lunch at that barbecue place. But it was
Bloodso's.
It wasn't close to this district. It was more up near Pink's.
Actually, just like a block and a half away from Pink's. Bloodso's Barbecue, which was, if you watch the show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, the original location that was in Compton years ago was featured. And it was a staple of that area. I think that one closed down in like 2016 or so. But this location is the next one. And the barbecue, look, we're sticklers. We both grew up in Texas. We have a thing about barbecue. And so we always take our barbecue that is not in Texas with a grain of salt. Like, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's just food.
Right.
Sometimes it's just fuel for your body. And that's how we look at it. But this was really, really good barbecue.
And you want to know why it was really, really good?
Why was that?
Because Bloodso, the owner, his grandma is from East Texas, and he spent his summers there learning to cook. So it is Texas barbecue. It was so good. I would go back tomorrow.
That applause right there, that's for you, Mr. Bloodstone. Thank you. And also Mr. Pink. Also for them. So lots of good times. And then, okay, so let's talk about this studio tour. This is going to take a minute here. Okay, because I know I'm kind of going out of order here, but I want to make sure that we talk about this. One of the features on the Go City Pass was, I think if you do the all-inclusive, you have a choice between Warner Brothers and Paramount.
I think so.
Or I might be wrong there, but I believe so. We looked at Warner Brothers. It wasn't even a second thought. I was like, boom, I want to do Warner Brothers. This was, going in again, I try to have zero expectations, but this actually blew me away. I really loved going on this tour.
I did too. I am like you. I did not have expectations. I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't sure what we would have access to. And there were, let's just say, there were a lot of restrictions on what you could photograph. You're not allowed to take any video at all once the tour starts.
Oops.
They would take us by places, and they're like, if the door's open to one of the studios, you cannot take a picture into the studio. And we were actually lucky enough to get to go onto a live set. There was nobody there, but they made us all put our phones away, and we could not walk into the set if anyone had their phone out.
Yeah. And
we were frequently checked to make sure that we did not have our phone out while we were on the set.
And I guess over the years you forget how many movies and television shows that Warner Brothers has had either in their direct lineup or an association of or whatever, but they will remind you because not only is it the big ones, like the big ones right now are probably Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, which until recently was an active set. Yeah. They were pointing out like, oh, this is so-and-so's house, and this was Texas Tech University or whatever. Yeah. I don't really watch the show, but they were pointing it all out, and people were like, oh, that is it. That's the outside of the building or whatever, because Warner Brothers Studio is a live working set. They don't outsource their stuff. Everything is done, mostly everything is done right there on the lot, including the sound production, including some of the best sound producers in the world
what were they saying? The digitizing something. They took us by that one building and they said, the building doesn't look like much, but these 4 people that work here have like one of the most impressive jobs. And it's where they take everything and they make like the final product of it. And it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but our guide was so passionate about this.
I was thoroughly impressed.
I was impressed.
And the Night Court Revival is the active set, and Abbott Elementary is another active set.
All American, the new
All
show.
American was the live set that we actually got to walk on. And then you just have like the DC universe, the Harry Potter universe. There's all kinds of, lots of Batman. If you're into the superhero movies, Batman, Superman, all of that stuff. Warner Brothers has a hand in all of that. And
so even if it didn't film there, they did have kind of a museum that you could walk through at the end where they had a huge Harry Potter setup, and you had kind of different like activations. You could go in and do the sorting hat and learn to mix potions. And you got
which ones did you get real quick? What
I
house
was
did you get?
Ravenclaw.
You got Ravenclaw. What did I get? Gryffindor, baby. The best. Right here. And I knew it too. As soon as I sat down, I was like, ooh, I'm feeling very superior to everyone. Me and Harry would have been boys with a Z. And then, of course, the big one, Friends, which we're going to talk about when we come back. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We're talking LA like a tourist. Yeah, keep it right here.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hi.
We're talking LA like a tourist. We're coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. We're having fun. We're chatting about the Warner Brothers studio tour that we went on, which I highly recommend. And they do not sponsor the show. Pardon me. They should. I would love that. But, it's just a ringing endorsement because it was such a good time.
And we used our Go City Pass.
Our Go City Pass, if they want to sponsor the show, I'd love that too. Or pick us up and syndicate us like we've been trying to do for years. Forever now. But
you're just spilling it all today, aren't you?
I'm telling you. So upset. But so the big one that most people are going to know with Warner Brothers is Friends.
Right.
You know, at the time, one of the most popular shows in the world, still to this day, probably one of the more celebrated shows in TV. And they have a replica of the set.
Yes.
Where you can go and take pictures. You can sit on the couch, have your picture taken.
Yeah.
And then they actually have like a gift store made up like Central Park.
Yeah. So you walk in and you're kind of in Central Park. It doesn't quite look like the one from the show, but it's set up. And
it's actually a real working cafe.
It is a real working cafe.
Yep.
People were in there getting drinks and food, and then you can go over to the side, and it's a huge gift shop, but it has all the eclectic furniture like from the real Central Park in there. And everywhere that you could sit, people were sitting and taking pictures because like it looked like the same couch.
I think you got a shot of me in the Lazy Boy recliners.
I did. They
Chandler
had Chandler and Joey's apartment set up
there
in there. They even had Monica's kitchen in there. Just so many great little seating areas. And again, it's a gift shop. But then if you went the other way, they had the actual Central Park set recreated, and you could go and get in line to have your picture taken, which we did, and we paid for the picture because you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of their biggest shows. Yeah. In fact, they were telling us that in order to have a studio named after your show, it had to be on air for at least 10 years. And they only have 5 studios named after shows, and one of them is Friends, which that studio has been used for a lot of other shows that people would recognize. Probably one of the bigger ones would be Full House from the 90s, recorded on the same exact studio.
Yeah. And it's amazing once you get in there, and like, if you are people of a certain age, I'm not going to say what age that is, but if you're of a certain age, it really takes you back to, you know, those times where you just sit around watching TV and you're just like, I can't believe it happened right here. Like all this magic was happening right here.
But I mean, you were even mentioning the movies that happened there that I didn't think about, but they took us through their jungle set, and they're like, this is where the T-Rex chased the Jeep in Jurassic Park. And this building over here is where the scene from the musical,
Annie.
Yeah, Annie was like the original Annie was shot, and Batman, and I mean, like, and Spider-Man, and all these different movies. And
the alleyway from like these movies is one of the most shot alleyways in all of cinema history. And it is that like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where he's hanging upside down, kissing Kirsten Dunst or whatever. And it's in this alleyway. And like Prince did a photo shoot here for one of his album covers, and all of these different movies.
That was the pilot of ER was shot in that alleyway.
Yeah. And they were, you know, they give you those little details, those little nuggets that only they know about and can tell you about, you know, how studios get away with making things look bigger than they do. And like, if they have like a few rules, even for other production companies that come in, they're like, if you can tear down anything, you can repaint anything, but you have to have it rebuilt and repainted exactly how it looks as you know it is right now. And it's just so great. Oh, a lot of Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls shot on that lot. What did they say? Heart of Dixie shot on that lot. A few other TV shows that were well known probably about 10 years ago, all filmed here at Warner Brothers. So walking around, and it was interesting.
I think the funniest part, like, because you can go into a few of the places, they'll take you through there. And if you are a Gilmore Girls fan, when you go there, everyone who was a fan noticed it. And they were like, and this tour guide was like, the front of the house is Lorelai's house. And you walk through it, and the back of the house was Sookie's house. And so he was like, so they're technically roommates.
Same house, but a front on both sides of it, so that it looked like 2 different properties. That was one of the things I found most impressive, was they said when the Warner Brothers, there were 4 brothers who started the studio, they said they wanted every single thing on the lot to be usable. So even their offices were designed to look like the outside of a motel, or to look like a college, or the one building that was offices that looks like a hotel, or I'm sorry, a hospital, and has been used as a hospital or a university in multiple TV shows and movies. So every single building is filmable. Yeah. And it's kind of impressive.
It has a purpose.
Yeah,
every single one. And then, so we wrapped that up, and that was a good part of the day. We got a wild hair, and we were like, hey, we're actually right around the corner from the Griffith observatory.
Right.
And so we thought, we'll go up there. It's a Sunday. We'll drive up there. It can't be too busy, right?
Right.
And I was wrong.
I was very wrong.
Very wrong.
Well, so first of all, I looked it up. It is free to get into the observatory. So I was like, awesome. Let's go up to the observatory, walk around in there, get some shots. And it supposedly has a fantastic view of the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
Driving up there, you're driving through neighborhoods up a hill, and it's a very, they're narrow roads. So if you're driving yourself, just be aware.
Yeah.
Very narrow roads.
It's older Hollywood neighborhoods, too.
Yeah.
And these are a lot of expensive houses that are very tiny or tiny-ish.
Close together.
Very close together. But this is where, I mean, even if you don't get to go to the observatory, which we didn't, once we saw how many people were there and like basically parking is non-existent, you just park on the side of the road. Once we figured that out, we were like, okay, we don't have that much time left. So let's just kind of go to a distance and take a picture and things of that nature. But we really wanted to capture one of the most famous and iconic landmarks in the entire world, and that is the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
We wanted to do that, so we kind of meandered our way through the hills, through neighborhoods, active neighborhoods, to the famous Hollywood sign. So, go ahead.
Which I was going to, you can hike to the sign if you want to. We were not prepared to hike that day because we were heading out of town after this. But you can, there are several places that you can park and hike up to the sign. But we had heard that there was a park that is a great shot straight up to the Hollywood sign.
Right.
And I believe it's called Lake Hollywood.
The Lake Hollywood Park.
But to get there from the observatory, you are driving back down through a different street, which you equated to driving through the back country of Italy on these very, very narrow, almost one-lane roads that are going up and down hills. Mm-hmm. It was a little scary. It's
a little adventure by itself. I mean, at one part, you could hold your hand out the window and touch the mountain beside you and everything. But the Hollywood sign, a little bit of history there because I have to. Originally was built in 1923 and read Hollywood Land. And it was a temporary advertisement for a local real estate development. So it was meant to be torn down. It was 50 foot tall and I think made of wood and stuff and not very durable, but it kind of picked up in popularity, very, very quickly. And so they kept it up. The land part of Hollywood Land was removed in 1949. And in 1978, they replaced the whole structure entirely because it had gotten so weather damaged and everything else that it was unsafe. But they put up a 45-foot steel structure, which is what you see now, which is so famous and just one of those things that you have to do.
Which everyone else must have felt the same way because the park was packed. There was nowhere to park. Yeah. You ended up slowing down, and I kind of leaned out the window and got a couple of pictures. I
was like, girl, tuck and roll. I just kicked her out the car. Go get a picture. I'm waiting here.
We did actually drive a little bit farther down into the neighborhood and came across a place that had a great view up through the trees of the sign. So we did get some great signs. But I think if you want to get pictures of the Hollywood sign, you need to go early, especially if it's on a weekend, because it's going to be packed.
It is going to be packed. And what?
Well, I was going to say, before we leave, there's one other thing we have to mention. Donuts.
Oh, donuts.
We went to the original Randy's Donuts.
The original
giant 20-foot donut on top of the building. And they were fantastic.
And opened in 1952. It's still around. That makes it iconic. This has been LA Like a Tourist, the Unscaled Travel Show. Thank you so much, my co-explorer and
Explorer
and Mr. Pink. We'll see you guys next time.